Hey guys, so I burned myself cooking ribs, and Joe's out of town, and he'll be back tomorrow. So we thought, as I'm working on the reviews, waiting for Joe to get back, we'll do a review on Jack Reacher, Never Go Back, and
that's how I feel about the movie.
Never go back.
Never go back.
Do it.
Never waste your money is basically how we feel about this film. This film has no point.
Yeah.
Like, I was excited to go to it because I enjoyed the first Jack Reacher, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the first one was really good.
Yeah. I liked the first one, and I thought there were good scenes. You know, one of those action films where Tom Cruise beats fucking dudes up. And it was memorable in the sense that he beats all those guys up in the street, takes on, multiple guys at once. That's a different movie, but,
No, he did.
He did.
He did actually do that.
He did actually do that. But
out in the bar,
in this one, I actually think the trailer is more intriguing and exciting than the actual movie.
Yeah,
where they show he's in the diner and you got the cop coming up to him and you're saying, this is what's going to happen, and then it happens.
That's the best part of the movie.
It's the best part of the movie, and then they waste that part, and the rest of the movie just kind of is very meandering. There's what they try to do in this one is they introduce a possible Jack Reacher daughter character and a love interest for Jack Reacher, and neither one of these plot lines ever get resolved in satisfying ways.
Nope.
Which makes the whole movie rather pointless. And the love interest is how Jack sort of stumbles into the next group of guys that he needs to beat up. Del?
He doesn't beat up a lot of people, actually.
Yeah.
He, in the first movie, he's beating up dudes left and right. There's, a compelling plot. He's trying to prove, this guy didn't assassinate a bunch of people in the street. It was the one where, the sniper in the beginning of the movie shoots 9 people, and he has to unravel why the hell this guy got shot, or all these people got shot, finds out there was a whole, cover story, stuff like that. In this movie, it's just he goes to investigate something, he beats up a few guys, and then it's just family building emotional stuff for, large chunks of the movie, without, anything ever going down.
It didn't really work at all. It's when you say emotional and family building, I'm like, what? That was in the movie? No, what?
It didn't work. No, they were trying to establish it.
Because it didn't work. So most of the time, Jack is on the run because the love interest is a major in the army, and she is framed for something that she didn't do, and he's trying to clear her name, and it involves corrupt military contractors, and so the whole time he's beating up on ex-military. And you're right, they never really do anything creative like they did with the first film. They do have a scene where Jack gets to beat up 4 guys again, and it's coming. He's walking down a dark hallway and people are following, and Jack is almost like the rest of the audience, kicks open just a random door to go in, and it's let's get this done, let's get this over with, and then they corner him, and you're wondering, why the fuck didn't these guys shoot him in the first place when they see him walking around, when the whole rest of the movie they're just fucking taking shots at him. But no, there's a contrived reason for, they want to know where the major lady is that he's protecting, and then he proceeds to beat them all up. It is cliche after cliche. Never waste your money. Jack Reacher never gonna see another one. Jack Reacher never waste your time.
I feel so hollow after watching this.
Hollow, yeah.
And this just
went down.
Yeah, the first one was satisfying action, right? It was popcorn action. It was just dudes, just one guy being a fucking badass, beating everybody up, and you're like, okay, cool. This is like the books. Jack Reacher's a badass in the fucking books. Of course, he's 6'9" and he's bald headed, but
he's supposed to be big and scary looking.
He's not
but that I don't mind, because I know he's supposed to be a big, intimidating dude, but it's kind of cool seeing a little bitty guy like Tom Cruise beating all these fuckers' asses.
Yeah.
They totally underestimate him every time.
Right, and Tom Cruise has the star power, the name behind it. It's Tom Cruise!
I'm another kid.
Yeah!
Yeah, you gotta
So
put lightning.
yeah, you gotta put lightning on that. So you know that's the fascinating part, and that's the reason why I went there, because I like Tom Cruise films. I like watching his action films, and I thought the first one was good, but this one really is a bait and switch. It's incredibly boring. By the end, it's pointless. There's not a whole lot of action scenes. The director in this does a lot of really annoying, unnecessary close-up shots. It's almost hilarious at one point where the major gets her like moment where she is arresting the big bad guy. There's for no reason flashing police lights, like blinding flashing police lights as she's giving her very serious performance, and she lets loose, "I will bitch slap you." It's just all awkwardly put together. So the director added nothing, and cinematographer didn't really do all that great of a job. This one had more shaky action cam scenes with lots of close-up where you don't know what's happening, then cutaways. It wasn't put together very well as the first one was. So honestly, there's no point to see Jack Reacher. In fact, we should have done a review on The Accountant. We saw The Accountant, me and Del and Joe, and that's a much better film.
Oh, yeah.
If you need some action, if you want to do your movie going and you haven't seen either one of these films and you're trying to decide between the two, go see The Accountant. Have you seen The Accountant yet? Go see The Accountant. It's good.
I think the best way to summarize the issues with the movie is they have all these plots, like subplots, like with him and the chick, with, like you said, with the supposed girl that's his daughter. You find out about right at the beginning of the movie, and then you find out about the murders and the corruption, and nothing ever escalates to a point where there's any sort of satisfaction. And it just kind of like, you think at one point it's going to be like, oh, they're smuggling nuclear weapons or something crazy's happening, some big plot, and it's just like, oh, it's drugs.
Really generic.
Oh, it's generic.
Just generic. Very low stakes.
Yep.
Not interesting or compelling at all. And yeah, that's Jack Reacher. We're probably not gonna see a third one to these, even though there's like 9 books, because I think this one is a big enough stinker, and I should have looked up reviews before I dragged y'all out to it. But hey, we're putting out this review right now, doing our due diligence. Don't go see Jack Reacher. Maybe if it comes out on television and you're flipping through channels and there's not some better movie, then you would watch it.
It's like a
but don't go
late-night
waste your money.
Showtime
So
thing.
let's give final verdicts. We'll start with Beard. Beard, what's your final verdict?
I give it a 5. It's painfully average.
5, average, painfully average.
Yeah.
So that 5 you will feel hollow.
It sucks because it's not a horrible movie. But it's like the original Jack Reacher was so good, and it just overshadows this at every point.
Yeah, it's like, how are these the same franchise or film
and
that it
does
turns
a disservice to the first movie.
It pretty much is. Yeah, and
What about you?
For my final score, I gotta give it a Garbo out of 10. It's a Garbo out of 10.
Garbo.
It's so Garbo.
I'm not up with the lingo these days.
I'm trying to modernize our videos by
My
using
bad.
the hip language.
Garbage.
It's Garbo.
I like Garbo.
It's Garbo,
That's
bro.
Garbo.
No, but honestly, it's like a 5 out of 10. I agree with Beard. It's a painfully average movie and not something you'd expect from Tom Cruise at all.
Yeah, I could have swore I heard people, walking out of the theater very disappointed. We might have heard a Garbo out there.
It's Garbo.
We're gonna start the Garbo thing since we hear it. And Garbo. Hashtag this movie was Garbo. But no, so my final verdict for the film is going to be a 4 out of 10. It's below average for me because, I agree it's an average. Overall, it's average, but to then have such a good first film and to come out with a stinker like this and have no resolution, just meandering, the whole thing takes place and then it's over and it's like there's no stakes.
Yeah.
It just feels incredibly pointless, and almost everybody in the theater that I was looking at had really confused and disappointing faces and making comments like Garbo. So 4 out of 10.
I love at the end, nothing changed.
Yeah.
At the very end of the movie, she was like, I want you to be my dad. And he was like, no. Just leave.
He just walks.
Yeah,
He just walked out, and that's how I felt. I wanted to walk out.
I didn't feel good after watching the movie. Like,
doesn't end up with the girl. Maybe he's gonna call her, maybe not. It's just fucking pointless. Don't go see this film. We just saved you $11, $12. Go spend it on the accountant, or save it for upcoming video games.
John Wick 2.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, John Wick 2.
Can't wait for John Wick.
And November's gonna be crazy with movies, so we'll get back on that. And when Joe gets back tomorrow, we're definitely taking them to Ouija, because he hates Ouija boards. So I'm gonna find a way to trick him. I'm gonna tell him we're gonna take him to, like a press showing of Doctor Strange. Nobody ruin this. Don't talk to him on social media.
We're totally not taking you to see Ouija Joe.
So don't alert him. All right, guys. So we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show. Bye, guys.